Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
The first capital of the United States was New York City. Center of the universe.
It is?
I'm pretty sure it can't get worse.
And I'm Cameron. Welcome to the thing.
Keep going.
Use the hashtag Geeks Corner to fill in the awkward silences we put up. There's going to be a lot.
I was going to say, there's a lot.
So why would you pick a New York thing?
Because I'm going to New York.
Are you going to sing New York, New York?
I mean, probably.
I did hear that when he comes back, he's going to be a new man.
That's true. Just you wait. That's like 3
So we need your
Broadway
help right
musical
now
references.
since he's going to be gone. We need somebody to sit in his chair. Currently, we have Blue Bear scheduled to fill his role.
Not this one.
Blue Bear.
The actual Blue Bear.
The original Blue Bear.
Oh, gee.
He's sitting back
I'm
in the
not a
corner. He's been
knockoff,
watching
I
for the
swear.
last, 2 or 3
Your
years?
stitching is showing.
So we need to know who you think should sit in Cameron's chair and speak, because Blue Bear has a hard time with that.
It's true.
Yeah, we're working on it, but only so much you can do.
But yes, and no idea is too big or too small, but you know, some reasonable ideas would also be okay.
Like what?
I was going to say,
I don't know what's reasonable
I was
anymore.
going to say, because last week we had the official voice of Mickey Mouse on our show. And
Yeah.
You should go check out that episode.
That was a really
'cause
good
it's
one.
going to be way better than tonight's.
Whoa! That's like the 10th thing you've said about this episode.
He's
What I
condemned
love
it, and it's going to
is
be.
they go, whoa, and then we got Tyler, they're going,
Yeah.
yeah, he's right. All right, well, this week at Disneyland, we'll start there. They basically reopened Dumbo. With the new
Basically.
queue. Well, I had to think of what they were doing. The notes don't look like what I wrote, so now I'm all confused. But yeah, there's a new queue. There's new ways to get onto the attraction. You get a little thing, and it tells you which Dumbo you're going to go to. Did you not know this?
I didn't know that. No.
Surprise!
We went. We were there. It's not like we're just taking this information secondhand. I did not catch that part at all.
I didn't
Oh
know.
yeah, but there's posters and there's.
Saw that.
I like actually the new queue. What do you guys think of it?
I like it for the fact that I like any queue that's redesigned and pulls more people, because it pulls more people.
Mm-hmm.
The more you can consolidate crowds into different areas of the park, the better it is for everybody. So
That is true.
in that sense, great.
What do you think of the aesthetic?
It's so cute.
Aesthetic question, Katie.
I'm like, oh, thank you. I really love there's like mosaic tiles on the ground for like which I did see that which Dumbo you go to, you have the mosaic tiles, and it's so like that was the hard part when I was taking pictures of it, is I wanted to take pictures of all things like that, and when there's crowded people in Fantasyland, you can't take pictures of things like that. But it's all very well done.
And the
I really
quiet
like
beat
it.
makes more sense there now too, because
It
it
does.
feels like it's part of the attraction, I guess you could say.
Instead of just there.
Yeah, and its little thing.
It
back
was
behind there.
almost a secret thing before. It was just kind of tucked back there, like there's the music thing and doing the things in the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked it. I like it the new way too, but I liked having it kind of hidden back there because
Sure.
there's fewer and fewer things at Disneyland that are now those like little hidden secrets, just because there's more people there now, so you need to use the space. Well, it's a better use of space the way they're doing it now, but there are lots of those old hidden gems that just aren't so hidden anymore, don't exist.
And we're not going to tell you about
But we
them.
might. DapsMagic.com. Keep up on it.
Oh, really? Is that how it works? Okay,
That was
cool.
just a segue. Yeah.
Over in the other park this weekend, there was a bunch of Marvel characters that we could visit, and we did. We got a video up on YouTube's about it. You can see Captain America on the new, well, not the new Jeep, but on a new Jeep for him. The Transport. I like Jeep better.
It's not an officially branded Jeep, so.
I don't care. It's a Jeep. I like Jeeps. Anyway,
You heard it here first, folks.
it's like a Jeep to me.
Jeeps. Beep beep.
Picturing Captain America doing that, and it's so good.
I just hope that one becomes. I hope that one becomes one of those videos things too.
No,
'Cause
he picks up before he goes to his location and he goes, "Hey, Spider-Man!" Beep
Beep,
beep.
I did like that every time he arrived that we saw. Luke and I were there for what, an hour or so, and then you guys showed up and we were there for another hour or so. But every time he arrived, he and Spider-Man did something, and it was very entertaining. In fact, that was the most entertaining part of the afternoon in many
I was
respects.
gonna say, when I saw it on Friday, Kat pulled up and then just started roasting Spidey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's happening, and it was amazing.
It was fun. Yeah, I thought that was one of the highlights of the new setup. And then they've got Thor and Loki not together, but Thor with Gamora, and then they've got Black Widow, Black Panther, and who else do we have?
Weird choices.
Spider-Man's still there,
Yeah.
but now he's in front of his apartment instead of the precinct. I can't speak.
It's okay.
Who else do we see? We saw lots of people.
Well, Star-Lord.
Groot, you can still meet. You can still dance with Star-Lord and Gamora also.
Yeah.
You can go on a ride with Rocket. But there's a ton of Marvel options. What is your favorite character that you can now meet in?
Loki, easily.
He was hilarious.
Because Loki wanders around a lot more, and that's super entertaining
does
to watch
whatever he wants.
the God of Mischief just doing whatever he wants.
The best part was him walking around with the kid with the squeaky shoes.
Yes.
And then he really did whatever he wanted. He was like, "Oh, do you want to go to the front of the line to meet Black Panther? Okay, here
We're
we
going to
go.
go meet anybody we want.
Let's go through the exit."
Although I think I know, I skipped what I think might actually be my favorite for yours.
What was
Please.
your favorite?
Is it the Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Katie geeked out.
I loved him. I hadn't gotten to meet Black Panther yet, and I hadn't even met the Dora Milaje, but I met them, and I loved them so much. They were so nice.
They liked the vibranium in your hair.
They did,
was
and
pretty
they
funny.
asked why I didn't have a shirt with them on it, because I had a shirt with Black Panther on it, and they were very offended that I didn't. And I was offended too because I want a shirt with them on it. But
Is there a shirt with them on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Get on it, internet.
But it was really funny because I walked up and I was really expecting, as an adult, my expectations for character interactions has kind of gone down a little bit because I'm not a cute kid. And so I walked up and I was really just expecting to get a picture. Shut up, Tyler. And just kind of like get a picture, walk away, especially because their line's so long. And then they talked to me for like 5 minutes, and I was like that the whole time.
And I'm not sure if you're reading it from here, but the rest of our group was about 30 feet away because the sheer wall of awkward coming off of Katie was that difficult to handle.
It was pretty.
Leave me alone! I was excited!
I wasn't gonna say anything. But
Oh,
You already had said it. You said, "Well, that was awkward." And I was like, glad that I was as awkward as I felt. And you're like, "Well, no, you weren't awkward. It was just
the whole thing was
awkward." No, leave me alone. They were nice to me.
They were incredibly nice to you. It just was.
You act like they were entertaining me. Like, oh, they were very nice to you, Katie. Like,
No, I think they actually really did enjoy talking to you.
I hope so.
That part of it was fun. The approach was awkward.
Because I awkwardly ran up to them.
You like skipped. It was like left foot, right foot, right foot, right foot, left foot.
Well, and there was this whole like, what do we do with this one? And then once they started talking, it was all okay. But the whole like approach.
They didn't know
was
if I was
very-
crazy or not.
Also, can we use the line, "What do we do with this one?" whenever Katie approaches from now on, please?
I was gonna say, is that any different from what you already say?
No, not really. No.
Okay,
Great.
as long as we know,
Yeah.
that's
It's
okay.
just nice to have words for the thing, you know.
So that was your favorite.
Duh.
And Loki
And
is your
Gamora.
Yeah,
favorite.
Loki's mine. Yeah.
Gamora also.
She was also amazing.
Okay.
There's a picture. It's really funny because the pictures of me with the Dora Milaje, it's all from behind, so you can just like see the awkwardness in my body. But there's a picture of me looking at Gamora, and I'm just like, I'm like, you could kill me, and I would say thank you.
There's another video for tonight, huh?
Yes.
Like we need to pull all these clips and just
There's
put
gonna be
them
a lot
into
of moments. Yep.
You could make like out of context video.
Oh yeah,
that'd be
very
great
fun.
fun.
Just pull these little segments, you know.
Oh, like you do?
No, like I do.
Bailey actually saw the video of the little girl with squeaky shoes on Sunday.
Yeah.
And she shared it on Instagram and everywhere else.
It's adorable.
And
It was really funny because Loki was like, "You and I are friends now. Let's go."
it was very funny.
And it was seriously like we witnessed them meeting, and then we walked away for what must have been 10, 12 minutes doing other stuff, and then all of a sudden we looked over and like, oh no, they're still going. Like they're
And
just.
that's how we knew where Loki was, where you could hear squeak, 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 squeak.
Oh, yeah, it was
squeak,
great.
squeak. And then she was trying to walk on her tiptoes that her
So she
shoes
wouldn't be
didn't
squeaky?
squeak.
Didn't work.
I think Loki told her to try to be sneaky.
Yeah, because she was sneaking. And that was when they walked in to go meet Black Panther and Black Widow.
Very good.
It was great. What other characters would you like to see there? If any in the Marvel
that are
universe
not currently.
that are not there currently, but anybody from the Marvel universe. And you can't say Doctor Strange because he's on the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy answer. Like,
I don't know what that was, but okay.
That was We Know. We write for dapsmagic.com.
you know what I would like to see? I'd like them to use one of the indoor spaces and basically set up S.H.I.E.L.D. You have a chance to go have a meeting with Nick Fury. Wouldn't that be cool?
What
I
about
want to
Agent
see
Coulson?
the young Nick Fury that's
No,
going to
Coulson
be
works
in
the door.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, young Nick Fury, 90s Nick Fury.
Luke and I were talking about this on Sundays. We're wandering around, like how cool that would be.
Old Two Eyes.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I think that would be amazing.
Yes.
Both him and Coulson,
Yes.
because really those are our favorite heroes. I
Yes.
think.
Wouldn't Coulson be great working the door to go in for your scheduled meeting with Nick Fury?
Mhm.
That'd be really fun.
No.
I like that.
Agent Coulson's too busy waiting in line to meet Captain America.
He's got cards.
He's like, will you sign him?
I can
They're
actually see that.
vintage.
Actually, wouldn't it be cool if he was driving around Lola, his car in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? You guys don't know the show.
I was like, we don't watch that show.
You know the show, right, Tyler? Wouldn't it be cool if Coulson was driving around Lola?
Yes.
That would be amazing. Wouldn't that be?
Forget the Jeep.
Yeah, don't need the Jeep. Just Lola. That'd be great. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's do
Infinity
that.
War came out this last week.
I've heard of it.
Don't worry, no spoilers.
No
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
If we start getting close to spoilers, everybody's gonna start yelling.
Thanos demands your silence.
Yeah.
He does.
He does indeed.
First off, one word. How would you describe your emotions of the show?
Oh. Ah!
Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
If you can spell it.
AHHHHHH.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go with dang. Like,
Yeah.
oh, so good. So good.
Elaborate.
Without giving any spoilers, I am proud of the bold choices made and that were allowed.
Mm-hmm. I like too. There was a lot of. So it's there's lots of people in this. We can say that, right? I was amazed at how much character development was in a movie with that big of an ensemble, and that's a feat in itself, both in writing and then also executing, because when you have that big of a cast, usually you can't really go too far with that, and it's more of just kind of a glossed over thing. But I didn't feel like at any point there was any shallow roles, really. Like there was a lot behind each one.
Yep.
Do you have anything to add to that? You look like you're deep in thought there.
So, first half of the movie is one of the funniest Marvel experiences ever, and the last half of the movie, well, the whole movie, is the most anxiety-inducing movie I have ever been a part of.
It was very entertaining. So at one point, we have our group that goes to these movies, and it's great. I'm not going to say the name of who it was. Caitlin. She might have been under her chair at one point during the movie, during an exciting part.
Just to double clarify, this isn't me.
No.
No.
I want everyone to know this was not me.
This was somebody else. And Caitlin. And
Just making sure that they don't think you're saying Katie.
they don't
Those
think
are
it.
different names.
I would say Katie if you were. It was just a cough.
Because we're hiding. Yes.
Yes. Anyway, it was absolutely hilarious because I was like, "What are you doing?"
You're
Like,
skipping the most important group interaction that happened.
Would that
I'm
be
listening.
Maddie?
That would be Maddie.
Maddie
Yeah.
wins.
There was a moment,
Very silent moment.
very silent moment, in which a member of our party screamed into the abyss.
What everybody was feeling and thinking, and she released it for us.
It was fantastic.
It was amazing.
It was.
It's
and
something that they should have recorded.
I
and
don't
put
feel
for
like
everyone
we
else's
can say what she
experience.
screamed though, because
Nope.
it might be a spoiler,
We can't.
right?
Yeah.
It was just what?
Spoiler.
Spoiler!
Can't say that.
No, why?
Ooh. Deep
Mm,
cut. Deep
who
cut.
knows? Moving forward, what does this do to the overall genre?
I think we talked about it with Ant-Man and the Wasp, is they're gonna spend the next few movies being like, hey, remember that you can have fun at movies? Remember? Are you having a good time yet?
Conversely, though, off of that, one, I think, speaking into the superhero genre as a whole, one, they're going to have a really hard time reminding us, I think, of the innocence of these movies.
Yeah.
Because remember, these comic books, like... But on the other hand, there's no going back as far as what kind of emotional impact a film can have of this style.
Yeah.
And you can't fake this, and there's a lot of non-repeatability that they put in this film, which is going to be a very, very difficult thing for any superhero film, DC, Marvel, otherwise, to overcome. I think and this is speaking much more broadly, that DC was trying to get this reaction that Marvel achieved. Marvel just went about it much more slowly and built to it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, did it the correct way. And I don't think DC's going to be able to match this or recover from it.
Well, there's no way to now.
Yeah. Because they've done it. They did it.
This was a one-time shot, and you either hit it or you miss it. And it was a pass-fail grade, and they passed. And it's interesting because I was listening to an interview this week with Kevin Feige, and he was talking, the question was asked, like, how do you decide what type of superhero movies you're going to make or whatever? And he's like, we don't actually make superhero movies. We make a action thriller movie that happens to have Captain America in it. We make a comedy that happens to have Ant-Man in it, you know. And it's really interesting because their focus is completely on story, and maybe if there's a genre, it's an overarching movie genre, but not a superhero movie. And I think that might be something that's really, like, Marvel has nailed, because they're not trying to make superhero movies. They're making good movies that superheroes happen to be in. Whereas I feel like DC has really worked hard to make awesome superhero movies, whether it's Superman or any of the other ones. And I'm wondering if that's a portion or a part of the secret sauce that, you know, it's almost too late to catch up with now if you're DC.
Now, speaking of this, and if I can deep dive for a minute into superhero culture, I'm going to get real geeky.
Go ahead.
I think that Marvel hooked on to what the core of a good superhero film is, which is the emotional impact and reason for having superheroes.
Yep.
This is the deep cut history. The first real superhero comic was Superman, and it happened to be written by a man who had just unfortunately watched his father pass away from a very painful illness, and then suddenly a few years later has a man that cannot be hurt. There's a very deep emotional core to what these superheroes represent, and if you kind of get away from the glitz and glam of what they're capable of, they're just people.
Well, I think that's what's great, especially about the Marvel way they've done it in the MCU, is you talk to different people and everybody has that one hero that they really connect deeply with, and it's always fun to kind of see where people really connect and who they really connect with, because you know, everybody, you might be, I think quite often we've been surprised when we've asked the question of who do you connect with the most, because it kind of tells you a little bit about the person, and it's we've been right. We've been wrong.
I sense a question coming.
Go ahead, Katie.
Which superhero you connect with most?
I actually wasn't going to ask it.
Oh, see, I thought it was coming.
I was thinking about it, but I'm like, I don't want to throw you guys out there that far if you don't want to.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner for you. Why?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I didn't mean to be that
I'm glad
aggressive.
you were laughing at the why and not the Bruce Banner part.
That's what I thought you were laughing
I was like,
at.
wow,
I was
okay.
like, oh, okay.
It's just why?
A lot of things that I don't necessarily want to talk about on camera.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Mine's Loki.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Hey, adopted kid in another world. It's fine.
It's true.
There you go. Sorry, I was reading Twitter also.
I've heard of Twitter.
I'm aware
Talk
of
to
how
us
that
using
is.
the hashtag Geeks Corner.
Yeah, tell us who you relate to the most in the Marvel
Please,
Cinematic.
that'd be awesome.
Actually, you can do any superhero. I don't care if it's Marvel, DC, whatever.
We'll just judge you slightly more. depending on
Disney will
No, we will
win
not.
someday.
Yeah, it's true.
It's very possible. So, rating this film compared to all of the other Marvel films, where would you rate it in the hierarchy
It's
of
10 years.
10 years of Marvel magic?
That's many. That's as long as I've been alive.
Would you put it in the top 5? Is that
Yeah.
easy?
Oh, yeah.
Is it the best Marvel film ever? I've been seeing that online a little bit.
Possibly because of how much built up to this point. They've been building to this exact movie for 10 years. And then
Without
they knocked it out
knowing
of the
they
park.
were.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool listening to Kevin Feige talk about that too, because they had their big grand scheme when they first started out was they would build to an Avengers movie.
Mm.
And like they didn't know they were actually going to make it, because Iron Man, if you remember, was an independent film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Man, that takes it
ridiculous
back.
to think back now, like the juggernaut that Marvel is now, just 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And then building to second and third Avengers just eventually came around. He said in the last 5 years they really came up with what this movie was.
That is an impressive feat of storytelling for them to be able to pull that out without planning it. That's very good.
Right? And there's a little bit of planning,
Yeah.
but it's not... There wasn't this overarching plan from day one that like, hey, we got this. We're going to do this eventually. But it makes it much more... I think you can have more creativity as different actors and directors and screenwriters come up with ideas or whatever.
It's a good opportunity to say kudos to everybody who worked on those films.
Right.
If you stay through the credits and it's an Avengers film, you know you should.
It always baffles me that the credits start like, what is it, maybe a quarter of the room
just
gets up and I'm like,
and then everybody else in the room is just...
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know at this point? But there's an immense amount of names. I felt like this one was longer than any credits for any other
so.
Marvel film. I'm sitting there like, this took so many people to make.
Right.
Oh, goodness. So kudos.
Yeah.
So what number would you rate this in the Marvel films?
I'm at 1.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's hard to beat it right now.
Yeah.
Also this week, following up on this, the question was asked, and yes, this kind of is a spoiler, but it's all over the internet, so... And Marvel did it. It's a Marvel spoiler. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I've heard of them.
Yesterday, there was a video that came out about Ant-Man and the
okay.
Wasp, wondering where they were. And then the trailer came out today.
Yes.
What'd you think of the trailer?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot less heavy than Infinity War is.
I do think it's going to connect.
Oh, yeah.
At the end.
It has
It's going to.
I hope it connects and we don't even know. Like, I hope it connects and we're like, oh yeah, this is the connection point, and then it ends up being somewhere else.
I want to see it happen.
Do you want to see it happen? No, I hope in, like, later on we'd see it happen, and then we realize it was there.
I could see something at the end connecting it, but I think the majority of it, thank you, is going to be really, really, really fun superhero movie, a la first Ant-Man film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what character are you most looking forward to seeing in this film?
The Wasp.
Over Ghost?
I mean, that looks pretty cool, too. But the Wasp.
I don't know who Lawrence Fishburne is going to be exactly. I mean, he clearly...
Well, there's
somebody from the past, but...
Yeah, there was a gigantic character or something like that I think he's referencing, but I think overall
I just want to see him.
I want to see Paul Rudd again. That's what I'm
Yeah.
most excited to see. It's just, he's so good.
My policy is, let's just all have a good time.
I'm looking forward to the interactions with Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd also, because I feel like they have a really good chemistry and banter that kind of goes back and forth, and we've seen a little bit of that in teasers and trailers now, and I think that's going to be a huge hit also.
And they're leaning really heavy into the ridiculous proportion stuff already. I mean, in the first film it was... what was the thing that made me laugh? Thomas the Tank Engine was hilarious. And we saw that with the salt shaker this time around.
Yeah.
I think you visibly went, it was very good. Yes.
And then we've got Captain Marvel coming out later this year. Is it later this year? Next year? Next year? Okay, next spring.
You look
Thank
so
you.
sad and defeated.
It needs to be here now, guys.
It does.
Yeah, the next year is going to be ridiculously long.
Oh, man. Whew.
Like,
That means they did their job right,
it's
though.
more than a year still, though. We're
Yeah.
not even at the year mark.
yeah, I know. More than a year. The next
Wonderful.
year and however long.
Year and some change. It's
Year
like,
and change.
like a week. Year and a week
Oh, okay.
ish.
I hope you
That's
make it.
terrible.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
stressful. Yeah, it's going to be a long wait to the untitled Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So I have a story during the post-credits scene, and everyone was silent. And when the one thing was shown, someone was like, "Oh, it's Wonder Woman!"
That's the crossover we've been waiting for.
And then the whole theater corrected this person. That's amazing.
I like collectively everyone turning, no!
You get out!
that is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Okay, what standalone Marvel movie would you like to see that we haven't seen yet? Character.
Captain Marvel.
Well, that's not.
I mean, that's a fair answer. Though. That is a fair answer,
That's a
though.
very fair answer.
It
But
is.
what?
I want to see it now.
Ooh. I would like to see young Odin. I think that would
Oh,
be
that
very
would
fun.
be cool.
That would be fun. Like, just purely Asgard based. Some of the history that came out of Ragnarok, some of that stuff, I think would be very fun.
That's an excellent idea.
Don't act so
You
surprised.
should go. Well, I hadn't thought of that.
That was actually decent.
Ooh, well.
Well, it's one of those things where like you think of him and you're like, well, wasn't he born an old man? You know, and
It's true. It's very true.
so it was just one of those things. We were talking the other day how funny it would be too if they did. We talked a lot this week, Luke. We were talking about how it'd be funny too if they took out the Frozen musical and put it in an Avengers musical, and
I want it to be like a terrible high school play.
it
though.
would be because part of the idea was they basically recreate the story that was in Ragnarok that they performed there. But we
That
also
had a
felt
Heinz
like
brother and
we also felt like they should have the Captain America song and the Iron Man 2 song. Like I don't know exactly how it would all come together, but they're all Avengers.
That-
It
That would
needs
be
to
so
happen,
fun.
and it needs to have the production budget of my high school.
yes.
yeah.
Like, it needs to just have costumes that they pulled from someone's closet.
And they could have Jenny play keyboards.
And we don't have enough money to pay Jenny.
Oh, okay.
Let's not get into that. It's going to be
Well,
someone's
maybe she
brother
can
is
she can
playing
refer us
keyboard.
to someone maybe.
You
Maybe.
can pay Jenny and cookies and bread and cheese.
It's true.
Yeah, pay Jenny
It's actually,
and
we
cookies,
just
bread,
buy
and
the
cheese.
tracks.
You know what you
and then
guys are
play it.
describing? An Avengers review show where
Yeah,
each
that's
person
pretty
gets
much
to
it.
come up and do a segment.
Uh-huh.
Like Iron Man's just classic rock. Thor's just telling stories.
Yeah.
Obvious. Captain America dives into a terrible history lesson. Like,
You
it'd
know
be a
what
lot
this-
of fun.
Wasn't there like already a Broadway movie like this that was really terrible? And
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Whoa.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
If,
Oh.
I just realized, but if you intentionally did that,
But if you want to, that's the
Spider-Man Turn Off
problem,
the Dark wasn't bad.
though. It was dangerous.
It was dangerous. People were getting very hurt.
Very hurt.
Very.
Theater's dangerous,
No.
kids.
it is.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be hilarious? A Avengers musical.
Yes.
Yep.
I think it needs to go there.
Yes.
It'd be amazing.
Oh, I'd watch that. I would definitely watch that.
We would watch it every Sunday.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we would be in the front row, waiting for Iron Man, Captain America, and crew.
Or they could just retell Captain America's story, just keep the Frozen title. Be fine.
Waka,
Very
waka,
good.
waka.
Very good.
That
Our
was good.
producer's decent sometimes.
Once in a while, we let him out of his box. Yeah.
Fox moved closer.
In his freezer.
He has a box now, so it's congratulations.
You
He's
could-
been asking for this for a while.
He's
Kind of. You had the. That is true.
Follow us on
speaking-
social media, please.
Please do.
Please.
Also, if you have ideas for what you'd like to see on our YouTube channel, please let us know. Because we've thought about. Well, I've thought about, and I think I've maybe brought it up to someone. I don't know who.
Not us,
Of doing
probably.
some more live stuff in the parks and just coming up with some more interactive stuff that we could do while we're out and about. And just let us know, because we would like to make that happen.
And we like ideas because we're good at actioning on them, not so best at having them. So
Yeah.
or words. Making.
not-
Depends on the day.
Sometimes
You're
we
almost
have
on vacation. You're
ideas.
like
Sure, I'm
checked
out.
out.
I'm gone.
You're like long gone. Speaking of being long gone, who should replace Cameron next week for 1 week only?
Thank you for specifying.
Well, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I
1
was
week
like,
only.
I was like, yeah, you know. So anyway, let us know. What? She works really early in the morning.
Yes.
Don't have her.
It's true.
Very hard to get her.
Solid suggestion though from the audience.
Yes. I think we're out of time.
Hey, great. Honest reaction.
I just want to go on vacation. Get me
I'm
out of
so
here.
ready, guys. I'll see you on the other coast.
Don't let me sit at this desk anymore.
Go to thegeekscorner.com. If you miss my face too much while I'm gone, you can see many versions of it across the weeks.
Almost
Some
3
with
years
no
worth,
beard.
huh?
Ugh, that's the worst.
Those are bad.
Those were pretty bad.
Share with us your favorite Geeks Corner episode with Cameron in it.
With Cameron specifically, I'm
With
being
Cameron
honored.
in it.
Well, because
this
your
week.
anniversary's coming up.
That's true, it is.
When is that?
June something.
Something.
It was like the second week I was around ever.
Just continue the out.
Go check out dapsmagic.com for all the news as it happens and subscribe to our mailing list.
And subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure, as Cameron said, to connect with us on social media. You actually finished your coffee tonight. I'm so
a
proud of
rarity.
you. It is.
I only get 1 cup a month and I'm about to take off, so.
Okay, I hope you make it. Anyway, that's all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.